Right, so we're diving into the bond today. You know, the episode, the one with the yachts, I got to admit, I wasn't sure what to expect, but wow, luxury yachts and ocean exploration. Turns out that's a pretty awesome combo.
What really caught my attention was how the Bond showed how these, while sometimes over-the-top boats, can actually be such powerful tools for, like, scientific research.
Seriously. It's like you think yachts, you think leisure, luxury,
Right, exactly.
but bam, they're helping us understand and protect the
The
ocean.
Jo Bond. I just love her approach. She's got this way of taking even the most complicated stuff and making it, like, exciting.
Totally.
Oh.
And in this episode, she's with Richard, right?
Yeah, Richard from Luke Brown Yacht.
It's got this energy you can't help but get swept up in it.
Absolutely infectious.
And then he takes us on this tour of the Invincible 365.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was impressive.
It was.
Okay, first of all, that fishing area, talk about spacious. I mean,
Yeah.
you could practically hide a whole treasure chest in there.
Enough storage for sure.
Solve a whole mystery. But then, the dive door.
Right. That's not just for fun either.
No, not at all. Richard was talking about how features like that can actually be used for, like, marine research, even helping out with green initiatives and stuff.
Totally.
Okay, but speaking of boats, I get seasick just thinking about it. But that Seakeeper gyro-stabilizing thingamajig?
Oh, yeah, the Seakeeper.
Magic.
Yeah.
Pure magic. Smooth sailing even when it's rough out there.
Pretty amazing.
I'm already imagining myself, like, sipping lemonade on the deck, completely unfazed by the waves.
And while you're at it, enjoying the view from that full tower with its second driving station.
Oh, yeah. Richard was saying how amazing it is for spotting marine life, and, like, doing observations and all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of observation, he mentioned all the tech at the helm, too, right?
Right, packed with it. Garmin electronics, joystick control.
And the skyhook feature.
Skyhook. Isn't that amazing? Basically, it lets the yacht, like, hold its position using GPS, even against the currents and tides. What?
Seriously, it's a game changer, especially for, like, researchers who need to stay in a very specific spot.
Like an invisible anchor or something. But it's not just about fancy gadgets. Richard made a point of saying that Luke Brown Yachts are all about, sustainability.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ecologically sound and all that.
Yeah.
Which is super important.
It is. It's great to see a company like Luke Brown, building these luxurious boats, but also being responsible about the environment.
Totally. And it fits so well with, like, Jo Bond's whole thing, right?
Right.
Connecting with nature in a way that's good for us, but also good for the planet.
For sure.
Remember how she talked about building stronger communities through, like, appreciating the natural world?
Yeah, yeah. And this episode really shows how yachts can actually be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, individuals having fun, but using these boats to really connect with the ocean and hopefully inspire other people to protect it, too.
It's like Richard said, Luke Brown Yachts isn't just building vessels, they're creating experiences.
That's a good quote. And those experiences, they can be so powerful, not just for the people on board, but for, the whole scientific community.
Speaking of experiences, did you catch when Richard kept mentioning the cabin?
The cabin, oh yeah.
Spacious head, a V-berth.
Oh, I could totally picture myself curled up there with a good book,
Right.
Listening to the waves. Super peaceful.
But also, remember he talked about how versatile that bow area is? You could lounge or you could use it for, like, research stuff.
Yeah, it's like a multi-purpose platform for scientific discovery.
Right.
Who wouldn't want to do research while cruising on a yacht? Sign me up.
Seriously. But, even if owning a yacht isn't really an option for most of us,
True.
Richard did say that Luke Brown offers, like, chartering services.
Oh, yeah. So you can still experience it all, maybe even get involved in some citizen science projects along the way.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. It makes the whole yachting world, well, a lot more accessible.
It does. And it's not just chartering. Luke Brown also does management services.
Oh, right.
So they can find you a crew, a chef, handle all that, like, logistic stuff.
That's pretty cool.
So even if you don't know, anything about boats, you can still enjoy the whole yachting thing.
Makes it a lot less intimidating. But let's go back to the science part for a minute. Those examples Richard gave about, like, how yachts are actually being used for research. Super interesting.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Yachts for Science initiative, right?
Oh, yeah. Yachts for science.
Connecting scientists with yacht owners who are willing to, like, lend their boats for expeditions.
It's a great idea, right?
It is. Such a cool way to use these resources, for science and conservation.
Totally.
And it's not just about giving them a place to do the research, right? Richard was talking about how some yachts actually have that what was it, bathymetric sonar?
Yeah, bathymetric sonar.
For mapping the ocean floor.
I know, it's amazing.
And that data is super valuable. I mean, understanding ocean currents, figuring out potential hazards, even like discovering new underwater stuff.
Yeah.
He even mentioned that some private yachts have contributed to
GEBCO.
GEBCO, yeah. What is that again?
General Bathymetric Chart of the Oceans. It's like a global project to map the whole ocean floor.
Wow. So these yachts are part of this huge international science thing.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's so wild. I had no idea. And he mentioned those, what were they called? Autonomous vehicles.
AUVs.
Yeah, UVs. Those underwater drones.
Yeah, for exploring areas that are, like, too dangerous for people.
Makes sense.
They're changing how we explore the ocean and the fact that they can be launched from these yachts.
So many possibilities.
It's pretty amazing.
And Richard emphasized that Luke Brown is, all about including these cutting-edge technologies in their designs.
Yeah, they're not just about, like, luxury and comfort, but also pushing the limits of, ocean exploration and research.
It's like they're connecting those two worlds, yachting and science.
Creating something totally new.
And it benefits everyone.
I think Jo Bond. I mean, her whole thing is about finding these, like, unexpected connections and showing how we can all work together, right?
You know what? You just reminded me of something. At the beginning of the episode, Jo was talking about connecting with nature being so important for communities.
Yeah.
And I realized that's exactly what's happening with Yachts for Science, right? You've got scientists, yacht owners, crew members.
All working together.
Yeah. They all have this shared passion for the ocean.
It's like a community of, like, ocean protectors.
Totally. People who are dedicated to understanding and taking care of this incredible resource.
That's a great way to put it.
And it's not just the scientists and owners who benefit, right? Richard talked about how guests on these expeditions can actually help out with the data collection and stuff.
Citizen science.
Exactly. A chance to, like, contribute to actual scientific discoveries.
Imagine that you're on this amazing yacht, enjoying the sun, the ocean.
Yeah.
And you're also helping to learn more about marine life.
It's win-win. Speaking of win-win, can we talk about something totally different for a second? Those sailor socks we found on xpfe.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I know, complete change of topic, but they're hilarious.
I know. Who knew socks could be so funny?
The classic ones are cute, with the stripes and anchors.
But the discreet ones, with the hidden parrots.
It's like a little secret message of adventure.
I love that they fit both men and women. I'm thinking of getting a pair for my dad. He's like a sailor at heart, even though he's never owned a boat.
Oh, that's sweet.
He'd love them.
It's like bringing that yachting spirit into everyday life,
Totally.
Maybe we should get Jo Bond a pair, too.
Oh, she'd totally appreciate that.
He's always talking about those unexpected connections with nature, and these socks definitely qualify.
They do. Maybe it'll inspire her to do a whole episode on the psychology of socks.
You never know with Jo Bond.
That's true. But for now, I think we can safely say we've learned a lot about yachting and its, well, surprising connection to science.
We have. And it's clear that Luke Brown Yachts is really leading the way in this whole new frontier.
Absolutely. They're not just building yachts. They're building, like, bridges between luxury, adventure, and scientific discovery.
I love that.
It's something worth celebrating for sure.
So, as we're wrapping up our look at the Bond and Luke Brown Yachts, I keep thinking about, like, hidden depths.
Hidden depths.
Yes. On the surface, you have these, well, luxurious boats, right?
Right.
But underneath, there's this whole world of science going on.
And that commitment to sustainability.
Exactly. It's like
It is like those socks.
the socks.
With the parrots.
Yes. Like a fun surprise, but it also means something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of like the whole episode. We've been, like, peeling back the layers.
Exactly. Finding those unexpected connections between, like, luxury and adventure and science.
And that's what's so cool about the Bond, I think. Jo just has this way of finding these hidden gems, those stories that make you rethink things.
Like the fact that private yachts are, like, helping to map the entire ocean floor.
I know. With GEBCO. Who would have thought? Luxury and, like, serious science.
It's a good reminder that, don't judge a book by its cover. Or a yacht, I guess.
There's always more beneath the surface.
Always. And that's where the real excitement is, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of surprises, that skyhook thing blew my mind.
The skyhook, yeah.
A yacht holding its position with GPS. That's crazy.
Pretty amazing tech.
It really shows you how these yachts are built for more than just, fun.
Serious science stuff.
Yeah. And Richard even said that Luke Brown is all about, like using these innovations in their designs.
Leading the way, basically.
Which brings me to, I think, another big takeaway: innovation. Whether it's like building practices that are sustainable or using new technology.
The yachting industry is always evolving.
Always moving forward.
Yeah.
And not just to make yachting better, but also to help us understand and protect the oceans, you know? As we've been talking, I keep remembering what Joe said about connecting with nature, how it can help us build stronger communities.
Yeah.
And it struck me that that's what these research expeditions are doing, right?
Bringing people together.
Scientists, yacht owners, all working together towards this goal.
Like a floating community.
That's a great way to put it. All united by their passion for the ocean.
And that's inspiring.
It really is. It reminds us that, we can all do our part.
No matter who we are, yeah.
Whether we're sailing a yacht or just making, small changes in our lives.
Every little bit helps.
Exactly. So I guess the biggest takeaway from all of this is that yachting, well, it's full of surprises.
Definitely full of surprises.
It's a place where luxury meets science, adventure goes with conservation.
And there's always something new to discover.
Absolutely. And I think, as Joe Bond would say, until we bond again.
Until we bond again.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep working together to make things better for us and for the oceans.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Bond and Luke Brown Yachts. We'll see you next time.